What's up, you guys? Welcome to the May 31st edition of NBA 3-Ball, presented by Establish the Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher. Get ready to break down the Sunday slate, preview the two-game Monday slate as well, talk some injuries to kick it off, hit the thumbs up and subscribe, please. Starting with the news, nothing really too much going on here. We got Westbrook questionable again with the ankle. Sounds like he's going to play. Ish Smith added to the injury report with a groin strain. So there's some effects to that. They've been running that three-guard lineup, even four guards at times, because Scott Brooks wanted spacing and three-point shooting. Talk more about that in a second. And then on the flip side of that, Tyrese Maxey played more because Doc Rivers said he was trying to match speed with Maxey against that Howell Neto Ish Smith lineup. So keep an eye on that if Ish doesn't play. So getting to the preview stuff in the context of the last game, which we saw the Wizards change up their lineup and start Davis Bertans. It did not go well. That new starting lineup put a minus 62.8 net rating in 11 minutes. Old starters were 35.4. Not great, Bob. Meanwhile, the Sixers starters, man, just killing it. Plus 44.1 net rating in 54 minutes. They're really freaking good. I don't think the Wizards have a chance here. Joel Embiid is too good. Scott Brooks really talked him up, so they were trying to do more stuff. And even Doc Rivers said, hey, if you have a single covered guy, just go at him. And we saw that. They didn't double him as much, and he just cleaned up for his playoff career high. So certainly expect a lot of Embiid. We know the Daniel Gafford comments are still prevalent. Scott Brooks said that he really can't play him past 7 minutes because he gets too tired. So that pretty much takes a lot of upside off Gafford. But still, nobody else really grabbing the bull by the horns here. Even though it's not the Chicago Bulls. But anyways, so nothing we could say here with the Wizards. Rui Hachimura just continues to get lambasted here. Really struggling. Bertans is pretty useless. And Bradley Beal, interestingly, he has been horrible from three. He's only at 15% on threes, but he's actually had more wide open threes, 3.3 per game in this series compared to 1.8 in the season. So he's getting good looks, not making them. So I think Beal could be in for a big game. Maybe he can keep this game close. I don't know. Sixers are too good, though. Sixers side of this, just 10-man rotation again. Kind of running that second unit together. Tobias staggered a little bit from Ben and Joel. They've been kind of stuck together there. But really, their shooting's been ridiculous. 70 effective field goal percentage on their catch and shoot shots is just killing. It's just why they're dominating this series, while the Wizards are not great there. So that's really the story. Expect them to just dominate again here. Should see pretty similar rotation as they look to wrap this up. Late game, Grizzlies are home against the Jazz. And we saw a little bit of a smaller lineup, especially in the second half. After they went kind of bigger early on, Brandon Clark got abandoned in the second half for more Grayson Allen. Taylor Jenkins said it was kind of a feel thing that he wanted to go smaller, so maybe that happens again. Thought they played pretty well overall, so Grayson Allen looks to be kind of the lead dog of the bench unit here, certainly cutting into the bigs. That includes Jaren Jackson Jr., while everyone else seems pretty safe here. They really ran a lot of aggressive stuff at Valanciunas to take him out of the offense, even doubled him on the glass, according to Taylor Jenkins, to kind of take him out of it, and that's big. I mean, that was probably a big reason why they kind of ran away with it. To neutralize Valanciunas is really a big step. I'll talk about Jazz in a second here, but we know John Morant's driving like a madman. He's just doing so much from an aggressive standpoint. Expect that to continue. Not much to say on the Jazz side of things. We still got the Conley, Donovan Mitchell stagger, running a lot of Conley, Gobert overlap, a lot of Bojan and O'Neal overlap. Rotation is pretty much the same here since Mitchell came back. Mike Conley was, quote, unbelievable on John Morant, according to Quinn Snyder, and Bojan has been a steadying presence for them when the Grizzlies go on runs. But don't really expect much changes here. Maybe we get more minutes out of Donovan Mitchell, as the Jazz could probably put a pretty good handle on this series. I think they got a really big advantage. They match up so well against this Grizzlies team. Hawks get the win, take a commanding 3-1 lead over the Knicks. Just great all-around play from a lot of guys. Trae Young, really just the engine of this offense, drives downhill on them, spreads the ball around. He's been awesome. Capella's defense has been kind of game-changing. Bogdan also pretty good on both ends. Had some, not a great game, but hit some really big shots in the second half. While John Collins got hit in the mouth, did return. Should be okay. Kevin Huerter has been another guy that just doesn't get enough credit. His defense has really stepped up. Doesn't get credit at all for the kind of defense he's played really all season. Knicks are in deep trouble here. I mentioned it kind of in a tweet, not with real full context, but The Knicks just don't do anything that's just diverse on offense. They run kind of the same stuff, and it's hurting them. The Hawks kind of know what's coming, and they just can't get good looks. We've seen Julius Randle really struggle all around on getting efficient shots, not getting enough at the rim, not doing well at the rim. Capella's really limited him there. They're not getting him downhill enough. They're getting him the ball in the wrong spots. It was better than that today, in my opinion. But still, just not great from him. Reggie Bullock was really bad today. And just nobody could really fill these minutes here. Alec Burks also struggled. It's looking bad here. Hopefully they can extend this series. But the Hawks are clearly the more talented team. To the big news of the day, Anthony Davis suffers a groin strain at the end of the second quarter. Does not return. Not great. Getting further evaluation. Early reports from Woj and Shams say he is day-to-day. So groin strain, I mean, that's usually a multi-week, at least 1 week injury. So there's a chance he plays in Game 5. I kind of don't think it's going to happen. So we saw Kyle Kuzma start in the second half. He'll probably look at more minutes. We saw Markieff Morris crack the rotation, and the guards really picked up the slack here. Alex Caruso closed, got a lot of late minutes, a lot of time on Booker. Ben McLemore also was ahead of Taylor Horton-Tucker, who didn't even play. KCP did not play in this game as well, as Wes Matthews started for him. Really rough game from Schroeder. The Suns defended him extremely well today. And LeBron just doesn't have the consistent burst for a full game. Like we saw the off-the-glass dunk. We saw that spin dunk as well. But just half-court offense, and I've talked about this before. His half-court offense just isn't quite there this year, and it's really hurt. I mean, this team can't really score right now, and losing AD in your half-court offense is going to really hurt them. So a team that looked like they were going to coast to a 5-game series win, in my opinion, is now in deep trouble. Huge win for the Suns. Really, everyone kind of played just okay. Ayton had a really big impact on the glass and in the paint. He's been just awesome in this series. Chris Paul does play and start. Interestingly, after the game, he said that Monty wanted to sit him, and he said, quote, hell nah, about sitting him, and said, hey, let me play a couple minutes, and then if I suck, pull me out. So, man, Chris Paul, just so good. And he looked noticeably better to me. Didn't have the treatment we saw over the course of the season, or the series, excuse me. He had the shooting shirt, he had the cupping in Game 3, and then he had the kinesio tape in Game 2. So really nothing. We saw that kind of cupping outline. So he went no treatment, and it was great. All that time looks to have got him going as Campaign still filled in. Got some overlap with Chris Paul, too. Campaign's been really sneaky good for them. Nets put up 141 points on the Celtics. KD, man, his nickname is Easy Money Sniper for a reason. The guy just makes easy buckets look easy. And hard buckets look easy, too. Kyrie, awesome. We saw what happened after the game. Oh, he stepped on the leprechaun. Oh, my God. Clutch my pearls. And some idiot fan throws a freaking water bottle at him. Like, we got to be better in this day and age. But I won't go there. Harden, yeah, really good 18 assists, career high from him. He's been so active defensively. Really doesn't get enough credit for his defense. He's really aggressive in getting in the passing lanes. Good hands. So I think he's a little bit of a sneaky guy. Obviously, he's not a great defender, but he's not as bad as people make him out to be with the highlights that we see on him. But this Nets team, man, especially with the Lakers a little bit banged up now, they definitely look like the heavy favorites. Celtics-wise, nothing really to say. No Kemba Walker. Didn't sound like he was close to playing in the next game, and still no Time Lord. Jason Tatum, man, he takes so many hard shots. Got to the line 17 times. My God, this guy's so freaking good. Romeo Langford got the start. Played pretty well defensively. Got out and run, real bouncy, so that was nice to see from him. Peyton Pritchard also picked up some time here. But Celtics are probably toast in Game 5. Clippers changed their starting lineup, go small with Nick Batum and Marcus Morris in the front court. Yeah, just too much Paul George, too much Kawhi Leonard. This is the team that I thought was going to win in 5 games. They've really dominated. Their defense finally showed up today, hitting threes. I think they may take this thing down in 6. Mavs here, yeah, Luka's not healthy. That little cervical strain in his neck has limited him. His shot's not going down. The free throws have been a major bugaboo for him. We saw Boban get some minutes here today. May not continue. Tim Hardaway Jr. took a fall as well. Keep an eye on that. Not great, man. The Mavs suddenly are in trouble here after the hot start. So that's it. Catch you tomorrow.